Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Spiritually Naked with Soul. And I am Molly, your host. And this is the Bali series where we are talking about the beautiful lands of Bali. And I am facilitating this with my beautiful, sacred, divine brother, Harrison who will be doing a guided meditation for you at the end of this meditation. So please uh, stay tuned for that at the very end of this podcast. Um, so this particular podcast is all about the strength of the solar plexus and the sacred rebel archetype. And the sacred rebel archetype is really this inner strength. And with Bali, it really was about trusting yourself, trusting myself, being in a land I've never been in, being as far away as I've ever been, in a country, traveling by myself. And it was during a time where I had become newly divorced. Actually, my divorce became final on the very last day of this beautiful retreat that was being led by Harrison and Allison, which is where I met Harrison. And Allison and I met at a previous retreat, and we had actually talked about she had lived in Bali before, and and that had been one of the most places on my heart to live, to visit, to do anything with. That had always been a calling. And I was like, oh my God, I'd love to go. I would love to travel, to teach, to do anything there. And, she had no plans to go back at that time, really. And then within, like, I think a month maybe after that retreat, uh, maybe a few, I think maybe a month. Yeah, it wasn't very long. She called me up and was like, "Hey, I'm doing a retreat in Bali. Let's go." So, and it was so affordable. It was so beautiful, and yeah. So I could not say I could not go. Um, and the timing was amazing. And at that time, I had no idea that my divorce was going to be final on the very last day of that retreat. And it was finalized the day before, which would have been like my 20th anniversary. It was wild. So yeah, there was a lot of like trusting myself, knowing myself, and also I was coming into this um, ceremony too of, what I had gone through in this retreat, which was this reclaiming and remembering myself, my wholeness, my sovereignty, my voice. If you listen to the um, podcast, the first podcast was all about the voice, right? Which I feel like I really have had kind of lost in a lot of ways, and reclaiming that back. But really, that sense of self, that core sense. And one of the experiences we had there was going to a monkey sanctuary, which is one of the most beautiful things you can do in Bali. And Harrison was teaching a class the morning of, and it got called monkey magic. And it was really feeling into the core, your solar plexus, your core, your strength, because these monkeys will, I mean, they're cheeky. they're they will go after like, your things, like your glasses or your necklaces, or they will, they'll crawl on you. They'll open up like your bag, your zipper, they'll take whatever and it'll be gone. So you have to kind of like, be assertive, and you have to know your strength, and you have to know your boundaries, and you have to know your discernment, and you have to know your nose. So he was teaching us like our nose. And like that has to come from the core. You have to have your strength. And so it became like this monkey magic. And really just knowing that strength. And it was really this beautiful energy of that core center of that energy. And of course, when we got there, there were just monkeys everywhere. And they are just so beautiful, so fun. And they're on all these incredibly just beautiful, beautiful, sacred, like ancient dragons and mermaids and all these old stone sculptures, and you can just walk around. It's so beautiful. And yeah, it was really fun to see the monkeys. And if you wanted them on you, they could be, but they didn't necessarily, you know, come on you. They were busy doing their own thing. But if you had food, they definitely would be. You, I don't think we were supposed to, but we did have some like little bananas, little plantain bananas, and we did bring those in. Uh, it was really fun. And so that, knowing that monkey magic kind of just took me through the rest of the retreat, because after I was also spending a week on my own integrating. Um, and there were a few things. I was going to kind of stay with, some of the other people, and that didn't work out how it was supposed to. And I was going to, find another place. And where I thought I was going to be did not end up where it was. And so there was a lot of frustration. This was right after our retreat ended. I think Harrison was walking me to like this location. I was like, this is not where it is. I can just feel it. I knew it. And I was like, this is not it. And I was like, I remember dragging my suitcase through these like gravel roads, and I was just pissed. It's like, this is not it. It was so hot. And I was like, it's a different location. And so, and, there weren't enough rooms where I thought I was going to be staying. So there was a lot of like miscommunication. I was like, fine, I will just, get another place. So I got another place. The place I went, it was not it. I'm just like, I call the car. Finally, it got to where I needed to be. But all this, like on my own, navigate on my own, my internal stories of having kind of like that masculine by my side, or that, that man to help me, kind of navigate these things in my life. I was used to that. I was used to someone to help me kind of sort that out, figure that out, find these places, do these things with me. And I was having to do that on my own and listen to my own internal compass and find these things. Needless to say, I got to where I needed to go to. I got to the place I was staying at beautiful place. I was so happy with it. It was very nurturing, which was what I was looking for. And then, even just exploring, I could have just stayed where I was and not gone anywhere, done anything. Because it is kind of intimidating to like walk around, not knowing where I'm at. But I got out my little GPS and was looking around, and right across the street, I kept seeing something about art therapy and like an art therapy center. I was like, what is this? Where is this? And I found that there was actually a another kind of eco lodge that was having an art therapy center like coming soon kind of thing. Or it was so I actually ended up emailing them, and we talked about like possibly doing a retreat in the future. So out of all the places, they had an art therapy connection. So there was some high synchronicity there, first of all. So that was exactly where I needed to be. And as I walked up the road, I found this incredible crystal gem place that had the Kuan Yin paintings there. So had I stayed where I was going to stay, I never would have found these incredible people and places where I needed to be, or had the experiences I had, or trusted this, you know, experience that I needed to have on my own, and had that. And then there was this really, this was the Year of the Dragon, right? This was the festivities of the celebration of the Chinese New Year of the dragon. And there was a big festival, Bali festival of the Year of the Dragon was going on, but it was in a different part of Bali. And I had to get there on my own. And yes, Bali is safe. But still intimidating going on your own, a driver. And it was like a 45-minute hour drive. I don't know what it was. It felt really long through a bunch of different towns on roads. And I was dressed up like a goddess. I I had all my wear on. I was ready for this party. And I was on some roads that were gravel with just cows. There was absolutely no lights in sight for miles. And I had several thoughts of like, oh my God, I could just disappear and nobody would know. Like, nobody would know. Like, this person could pull over into anywhere. Like, yeah, like these are thoughts that women have all the time as they are driving. This is a really helpless feeling for women when they're relying to get somewhere with someone else. Um, and these are really normal thoughts. But that that strength, that confidence, that sense of self that, I'm safe, I'm protected, this person is safe. Not all people are bad, right? This is a safe person. And I did. I made it. I was fine. But some of these places, they're just were were no lights. Where roads were not paved, towns were very, very small. Um, but anyway, we got me there. He was amazing, very kind. And then I had to get home the same way, and it was really late after all this. Um, but that was my very first time of having experiences like that. But it was a beautiful, festival. Saw desert dwellers for the first time in person, which was magical. And yeah, like it was so sacred and so empowering. And that was really the first time I had done a lot of things like that on my own. And it was that monkey magic that created that strength and that knowing that I can do that. Like that is that is within me. Maybe I have not given myself those opportunities to find those places within me. They're there. They're there. And it was really a beautiful and empowering experience. And that's what solo travel does. And that's what retreats do. And that's what taking the leaps do. And saying yes. And when things don't work out how you think they're supposed to, um, trust where you're being led because there's magic, and it will get you right where you need to be. It might not be where you want to be in the moment, but trust it. It will get you right where you need to be. Okay. Thank you so much, beautiful people. So until next time, namaste. And please stay tuned for Harrison's very sacred, very beautiful meditation.
Welcome, beautiful beings, back to another guided meditation and journey from my heart to yours. Today's intention is a solar plexus activation, standing in your worth and loving in boundaries. Before we begin, a gentle note: this meditation is a part of a series I'm creating with my soul sister, Molly Douglas. It's the second in a piece of a collection of guided journeys and teachings that came through us while on a soul remembering, soul pilgrimage together in Bali, a time filled with deep listening, initiation, and openings for both of us. Molly will be exploring these themes more deeply within her podcast and YouTube channel. Catch her show, Spiritually Naked with the Soul, a beautifully soul-led space devoted to the initiations, activations, and ancient feminine wisdom that guide our evolution. So this meditation is one doorway in a larger unfolding. Today's focus is the solar plexus, the center of your personal power, worth, and loving boundaries. So as you start to get comfortable, as you start to create space to receive and listen to my words, know that the type of power and boundaries are here to protect you, to strengthen you, to help you arise in self-love, clarity, and truth. So let us begin with this intention. Closing your eyes, if they're not closed already, letting your body settle wherever you are, and taking a big deep breath in through your nose into your belly with me, and slowly out through your mouth. Going again, breathing in through your nose into your belly, and slowly out through your mouth. Going again with me, breathing in through your nose into your belly, And slowly out through your mouth. Beautiful. Now, as we continue this journey deeper into this activation around our solar plexus, I invite you now to imagine you are standing at the edge of a vast landscape, a desert at sunrise. Warm light stretches across golden sand. The air is still, quiet, and clear. This desert is not empty. It is powerful. It holds space. It knows itself. This landscape today is your solar plexus. In the distance of this desert landscape, you see a small glowing fire. Steady, contained, warm, you begin walking toward it slowly, as if being pulled, as if knowing what is already there. With each step, feel your spine lengthening, your chest opening, your belly softening, maybe your crown tingling. You are walking toward your power, your deepest, truest power. Not the power you were taught, the power that exists when you are simply and fully yourself. As you approach the fire itself, notice how it burns. Not wild or out of control, but beautifully, gorgeously steady, sustaining itself. This is your inner will power, your clarity and self-worth. So as you sit beside the fire now, let the warmth touch your belly, your abdomen, your ribs, your face. And together let us breathe in this powerful warmth. Breathing in. And breathing out. Going again, breathing in this warmth. And breathing out, claiming more of it. Now I invite you gently to notice what has been placed into this fire over the years. Moments where you swallowed your truth. Moments where you overgave. Moments where you shaped yourself to be accepted. See these as small pieces of wood placed into the flames. You're not here to judge them, yet you are here to witness them with love, with care, with the knowing that these choices, these decisions helped you belong, helped you survive, and most of all helped you to be loved. So as you sit by the warmth of your solar plexus fire, whisper with me inwardly, "Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for helping me get here. And notice your solar plexus fire respond and flicker. Shift your awareness now to notice something else. Notice that this powerful fire, this powerful flame within the fire, the flames that make up your solar plexus, powerful center, have never actually gone out. Even when you were so small you couldn't be seen by the outside world, even when you were so in doubt of yourself, there was nothing left. Even when you stayed so silent, no one could witness or see the beauty that you were. Even in all of these cases, this fire has always been here. This fire has always been warm. So with me now, let us breathe in this sustaining, this long performing, this everlasting warmth and fire, breathing it in. And breathe out, letting yourself feel it more. Going again, breathing in this flame, this warmth, and imagining it hitting your solar plexus. Breathing in. And breathing out, feeling it more. Allowing this warmth to fill you up, allowing your inner authority to return. Your grounded sense of self. Not aggressive, not defensive. Clear in your worth, in your value, in your fiery power. And from this power, from this worth, see yourself creating around you, around the fire pit, a gentle circle of light. See yourself sitting in this circle with your fire, with your solar plexus burning. Notice that this circle is not a wall. It is a boundary of your presence. Only what is aligned may enter, and only what honors you may remain. Everything else simply passes by. So feel now how this circle of light, this boundary around you, moves with you. Breathing, alive, responsive. It allows love in. It allows connection in, but it does not require you to abandon yourself. It does not require you to abandon yourself. So notice this, and notice how it feels in your body, in your being, to sit within your own space, within your own energy, and feel these words that I speak for you, that I affirm for you now, move through your vessel. We are allowed to stand in our truth. We are allowed to honor our needs. We are allowed to choose what enters our life. And we are allowed to be both loving and discerning. Letting each of these affirmations and words and prayers from my heart with you to sit in your solar plexus belly with your warm sunlight, with your warm fire. As you stand now next to your fire with your circle of boundaries, feeling all of the warmth, all of the heat remaining inside of you, noticing as you stand the entire landscape, the entire desert in which you inhabit begins to glow. The morning golden light. Noticing that this light that emits all around you is not outside of you. This light is you. This light is your solar plexus sun. Once again, reminding you of your steadiness, your groundedness. What it feels like to stand in your full worth. Breathing all of this in with me. And breathing out, accepting. Breathing again, all of this in, all of this power, this worth, breathing in. And breathing out, accepting. Taking the last few moments here to Notice how this activation in this solar plexus opening is moving through you. As I share a final intention from my heart to yours, wishing you and guiding you forward, knowing you are so held in all that you step into with your solar plexus worth, with your solar plexus value, that nothing can take this from you. Nothing can remove this from you unless you give it the power to. So as we close this activation, I leave you with the final reminder that you are the most powerful being, consciousness, awareness in your reality. And this solar plexus sun is here to warm you up and remind you of this truth. Placing a hand on our belly as we take one final deep breath into the solar plexus center, breathing in and breathing out, accepting. And with so much ease and grace, when you're ready, you can return back into your body, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, and with conviction and worth, open your eyes, come back into this new reality, activated, empowered, knowing what you are.